I think Russell Wilson is an MVP candidate, and I think this is going to be a thoroughly entertaining game. So I love it from that standpoint. When I tell you, and I actually did take a bet on this because I think there was some value in it, that Russell Wilson is going to be the MVP, you say what?
Possibly. No, seriously. I mean, I wouldn't have been the first name or one of the first 4 names I would have spit out prior to the season. But I'm not surprised because Russell Wilson he does it with anyone you give him. Like, seriously, he's out there. Will Dissly is like a fantasy tight end right now, right? You know what I mean? Like a guy, he was a defensive end in college? Like, he goes out there. He is of the elite type of quarterback. So whatever you give him, you're throwing to DK Metcalf, you're throwing to guys, Tyler Lockett. Like, give him something, he makes it work. So not surprising that he would be in the conversation. All
right, so obviously you would say, well, what's wrong with Patrick Mahomes? And there's nothing wrong with Patrick Mahomes. He has picked up right where he left off last year. I don't know. If you said, hey, you have to bet $1,000, there's no odds, it's just who's going to win it, I would say, give me Patrick Mahomes. I kind of was looking for some value. I wish I had done this because there was much better value on Russell Wilson to start the season, before the season started. And I actually did my preseason picks. I said, I think Russell Wilson is going to win the MVP before it, but I didn't take it as a bet. So I'm kind of mad about it.
Scared money don't make money.
I was. Now, I could still get 10-1 odds, which is pretty good, but he's ahead of Carson Wentz, who's really playing well for the Eagles. Lamar Jackson, who was off on fire start, has kind of come back a little bit to reality. Dak Prescott. Again, some of these odds are going to fluctuate a lot, so I think you could sneak in some value. Christian McCaffrey's a guy who's been on fire. His team hasn't been very good after the slow start they had. Dak Prescott, they struggled offensively versus New Orleans, so he probably drops down. I think he still has a very legitimate chance. And you got 2 of the best of all time, Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, at 25 and 30-1 respectively. Those might be some value plays there. Just saying, hey, once all these other guys kind of, everything, the dust settles, there's a pretty good chance those 2 guys are going to be still standing at the end of the season.
I think your safe bet, just like odds aside, like I get you're trying to make money on it.
Yeah.
But the only real one that's going to make you some money is the one at the top, like Patrick Mahomes. If unless there's some catastrophic injuries that plague Kansas City, or Andy Reid slips into a coma or something like that, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's going to win the MVP.
Or I guess the only way is, and this is kind of what I was hoping for, it's hard to go back to back. Like, voters don't like to give it, and I think that's dumb. And I think you could give it to the wrong guy sometimes.
When the separation is that great, when there's that great of a gap between 1 and 2, and right now there's not, like, Russell Wilson is right behind him, like, 400 yards less, 2 TDs less, passer rating is right there. If you had a guy like Russell Wilson, but I feel like he'll fall off the pace before Kansas City and Mahomes falls off the pace. And then with the other ones like Rodgers and Brady, they would have to step up the pace, and I don't really see their teams like getting exponentially better offensively. Do you know what I mean? I just think there's going to be too big of a gap.
I think there's one way that Russell Wilson has a chance. We already expected the Chiefs to be good this year, so it'll be like, oh, yeah, he's doing what he's supposed to do. We were talking about the Rams, the Saints, the Cowboys. Not a lot of people were pegging the Seahawks. If he can have a type of season where the NFC in Seattle wins their division over the Rams, over the 49ers, who are really good, if they could kind of be that number 1 seed in the NFC